it is for some Canadians to cover their day-to-day costs. Making life more affordable has always been a core priority of this government. More pressingly, we know that a significant pressure on household budgets is the cost of fuel. Recent events in the Middle East, including the partial blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, have led to a global spike in oil prices, and Canadian families are feeling the impacts. That's why I am pleased to be able to say that today the Prime Minister announced further action to help Canadians manage these challenges. As the Prime Minister made clear, Canada's new government will use the improvement in the fiscal outlook associated with higher oil prices to provide targeted relief to households and businesses. Specifically, we are reducing pressure on fuel prices at the pump by suspending the application of the federal fuel excise tax on gasoline and diesel effective next week until Labor Day, September 7, 2026, delivering over $2.3 billion in relief to Canadians at a time when they need it the most. And this temporary suspension of excise taxes for gasoline and diesel is expected to save Canadians up to an estimated $5.75 on regular gasoline and up to $2.30 on diesel when filling up a typical 50-liter tank of fuel. This is a serious moment in our nation's history, and it deserves serious leadership and serious consideration. The announcement made earlier today by the Prime Minister reflects that. This Conservative motion today, on the other hand, is unfortunately anything but serious. Canadians expect and deserve more than back-of-the-napkin math. Let's look at some of the issues with this Conservative motion. Oil prices, as we know, are highly volatile and highly unpredictable. We know that recent events have led to a global spike in prices, but we also know that it's difficult to forecast what will happen 6, 8, or 12 months down the road. Conservatives are arguing that the current price per barrel will generate an additional $9 to $10 billion in government revenues. This assumption is based on the price per barrel staying the same between now and the new year. The Conservative plan is based on forecasts that are optimistic at best. Moreover, the Conservatives are allowing their ambivalence towards environmental action to overshadow a reasonable approach to the environment and the economy. They know that the clean fuel regulations do not add to the price Canadians pay at the pump. They know that an industrial carbon price makes us more competitive in a lower emissions global economy. But they're intentionally conflating these issues instead of focusing on what matters to Canadians. Mr. Speaker, this measure builds on one of our very first actions we took at a government which also lowered costs at the pump. One of the first things we did was to eliminate the federal consumer fuel charge effective April 1, 2025. Our government removed the consumer carbon price on gasoline, diesel, and home heating fuels while ensuring Canadians received a final rebate during the transition. At the same time, we preserved carbon pricing for large industrial emitters, focusing emissions reductions where they are the most effective, while easing cost pressures on households and maintaining a strong competitive economy.